Hello, welcome to Global Eye. I'm Parikshit Luthra. The top global story this evening: Donald Trump has become the first former president in U.S. history to face federal indictment. He has been charged with 7 counts, including conspiracy to obstruct, unauthorized retention of national security documents, and false statements. However, Trump says he's innocent and said that he will surrender before the authorities this Tuesday. To discuss that and much more, we are now joined by Steve Herman, Chief National Correspondent at the Voice of America. Steve, thank you very much for being with us here on CNBC-TV18. 7 charges over the classified documents case. How serious is this for former President Trump?
It is very serious. It is the most significant legal challenge he has ever faced before, during, or after his presidency. We've never had anything like this in American history, going back to 1776, when America declared independence from Great Britain. We have never had a former president indicted on federal criminal charges.
Right. Give us a sense of the kind of charges against Donald Trump, and could he face a prison sentence as a result?
He certainly could face prison if convicted on any of these charges. They are quite serious, and of course, they involve alleged mishandling of sensitive government documents that Trump has acknowledged, essentially taking from the White House to his home in the state of Florida, the Mar-a-Lago estate. And these charges involve violating the Espionage Act, making false statements, and conspiring to obstruct justice. And a number of legal analysts here in the United States are saying, from what they know, because this is still under seal, we haven't seen precisely what is in the indictment, but from what Trump has said and from what his lawyer has said and leaks to the media, these are quite serious charges.
Right. And what has been the defense of President Trump's legal team? What will be his next move, according to you?
Well, the next move is for him to show up for an initial appearance in a federal courtroom in Miami in the state of Florida next Tuesday. Trump is not going to fight that, although he will, according to himself and his lawyers, vociferously fight these charges in a court, and presumably there will be a trial at some point. None of us really see the former president entering into any sort of plea bargain arrangement, that they would want to get a trial and hope to be acquitted through that process.
Right. Give us also a sense of what this means for former President Trump's political career as well, his bid for presidency, and if all of these charges go ahead, what will this mean politically for the Republican Party?
Sure. Well, as you know, he is the front runner in his quest for a 3rd consecutive time to capture the Republican Party nomination and attempt to return to the White House for a 2nd term as president. We've only had once in American history where a president was out of office and successfully came back. That was Grover Cleveland in the late 19th century. So there is a precedent for that. The challenge here for Trump is that some of his primary party opponents will now ask him, as some are starting to do, that he step aside because he's facing these criminal charges. But Trump is the front runner. I covered him in the White House for 4 years. He is not someone who backs down, or as he likes to say, never give an inch. So Trump is going to be very defiant. He's fundraising off of this. We can expect that his core group of supporters, about 1/3 of the Republican Party base, will most likely stick with him. But 6 out of 10 Americans, presumed voters, say that Donald Trump should not be president again.
Right. How does this really help the Democrats at this stage? Just about 7 to 8 months for the election to go in the United States. How does this really help the Democrats?
Yes, it's about 7 months before the first votes are cast in the primary elections, both the Republicans and Democrats. Joe Biden, the presumptive nominee of the Democratic Party. The Democrats are just going to sit back and watch the Republicans fight among themselves. There's really no political upside for President Biden to really start attacking Donald Trump. The White House is being very careful. They will just say, we are not involved in the judicial process here. It needs to play out. Of course, Donald Trump is not seeing it that way at all. He believes that this is political retaliation against him and that this is the only way to stop him from getting back in the White House, and that Joe Biden is using the Department of Justice as an instrument to go after Donald Trump. Of course, the Justice Department and the White House will tell you none of that is really going on.
All right, Steve Herman, thank you so much for joining us here on Global Eye, giving us your view on Donald Trump's indictment, what it means for the former president's election bid, and what it means politically in America at this juncture. Let's move on, and this is a